where March went? It was so good. I don't know. I need someone to help me. Oh, this is so good. Did I even read the 12 books? So, she's on it. I don't have it. I'm very bloody excited for it. So if you're watching this, Cam, this is for you. We are doing another sit down video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Eilidh, and if you're not, then hello. It is good to see you again. We've got another wrap up. It is a new month. It is a couple of days into April already, just because I don't know what the word is. I wasn't prepared. Basically, I don't know where March went. I have no idea. March feels like it just flew by. They literally flew by. And now it's April. First off, where has the year gone? You know that saying, like, as you get older, time goes a lot quicker? That's true. I now fully believe that, because there's no way we're in April and it's spring. The weather is so nice, it's so light, and seasonal depression, like, who is she? I don't know that because it's gone, but we are doing our March wrap up and then April TBR. I did pretty well in March. I think I did pretty well considering the month before Feb, not so good. March, alright, even though I'm still like struggling to read and pick up a book and have that motivation. I didn't think I was gonna finish 10 books. We read 10 books in March and I'm so proud of myself. So proud of myself. So I want to go through all of them that I've read, what I've rated them, how I feel, and then going on to April and all the books that I want to read. So let's just kick off with our wrap up. I'm going to get my Goodreads up because I can't remember for the life of me what I've read, what I rated it, and some of the books I can't even remember what they were about. So I'm going to try my absolute hardest. But starting off the month, I read A Dance with the Fae Prince. I gave this book a 3 stars just because. This book took me so long to read. It took me over a week to read. I can't really tell you the plot except from I had no idea what was going on most of the time. I was a little bit confused with the relationship between the human girl and the Fae Prince. I was like, it feels like it's gone from 0 to 100. I don't know. I've been in the mood for a lot of like yearning, I guess, and I was hoping that this book would have some of that. It might have. I might have just missed it. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Like, I would recommend this series. Like, the series is so easy to read and it's kind of like a guilty pleasure type thing. Like, it's so not stupid, but it's so simplistic that if I don't know what I'm in the mood to read, I will probably pick up one of the books from Married to Magic series. This is the second one I've read. I think there's a siren one, there's a vampire one, I'm pretty sure there's a wolf one. Like, there are so many. So I'd recommend the series, just this wasn't my favourite one out of it. But then moving on to a 4-star, which I genuinely think I might change to a 5-star because I have not stopped thinking about this book, and that is Heavenly Bodies. It was so good. It was so good. I think it might be like a 7 on my days. It's even more. I might change my rating to like a 4.5, 4.75 because I love this book. This is what I was talking about when I was thinking of yearning. I love this. I actually like love this. The only thing that I was a bit like, what is going on? It's like, I thought there was going to be a love triangle in this. There wasn't. Oh, I'm trying to remember what happened at the end of the book. I read this so quickly. Yeah, it had something to do with fate, and it kind of had a twist on like the zodiacs as well, but it had to do with like powers and the kingdom or something. And there was there arranged marriage? Was there fate dating? I can't really remember the plot, that's the thing, but the only thing I do really remember is absolutely devouring this book. Devouring it. So yeah, I think a 4.5 because I can't remember. I can remember specifics of the plot, but I can't tell you those specifics. Anyway, then moving on to another book that I actually really enjoyed and I didn't think I was going to enjoy. Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I've been meaning to read the Devil's Night series forever and I finally got around to doing it. a little bit intimidated. I was a little bit like, oh my days, what's going to happen in this book, because she's thick, and also the writing so small, but I had so much fun reading this. It did jump from timeline, which I wasn't expecting, but thought it was done in a very good way that wasn't confusing, and I didn't mind what time we were in because everything that was happening was really engaging and something was always going on. Like, it never dragged. I never thought, oh my days, I just want to get to the present, like why are we back in time? I ended up giving it a 4 stars, I think. Let me just, yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was so good, and I can't wait to carry on the series. It is obviously a dark romance, so it does have a lot of darker themes, and there is a bit of miscommunication, but it's part of the plot. It's part of the reason why things happened. I'm just thinking, is that a spoiler? I don't know. It might be. Oops. Maybe there isn't. I don't know. I don't know. I know nothing. Did I even read this book? Anyway, yes, I enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to read the next ones, because somebody was saying, it might have been one of you guys or it might have been somebody else, that the books get better as you go on, like as you read more. I think the next one, which is Hideaway, is about, I want to know his name. Kai? Is it about Kai? Maybe. Not sure. Anyway, gave it 4 stars. Then I read a Kindle book, and this is for my book club that I'm a part of with my friends, and we read the book I Dare to Call Him Father, which is a Christian biography. Is that right? Because she literally wrote it about her life. I gave it a 5 stars. I could not give this book anything other than a 5 stars, because it was about this woman's life of her converting from Muslim to Christianity, and it was so interesting reading about that. I've never read anything like that before, and I think I want to read more books like that, like just more biographies that people have written about their lives, because I found it so interesting. And especially, like, I'm a Christian, but I know nothing about the Muslim religion, so I was really engaged and quite drawn to the comparison of the Quran and the Bible. And this book, not that like writing wise was the best or storytelling wise was the best, but the actual journey that we were taken on and all of the people that we met and the experiences that she had was just so cool. And I had a grand old time. I read it in one day. I read it in a few hours. Like, it's a very, very short book, but yeah, I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I kind of want to read more stuff like that. Anyway, moving on. I then read one of the most anticipated books and most lovable books that I was so excited to read, and that was Wings of Starlight. Oh, this was so cute. I gave this a 4 stars. I felt like a little kid again reading this. I instantly wanted to watch Tinkerbell. I still want to watch Tinkerbell, but it was so good. I loved it. So this, if you don't know, is kind of like a prequel to the Tinkerbell story. It's about the Queen of Pixie Hollow before she became queen. She was like the queen in training, that's what they called her, and also the warden of the Winter Forest. And it was about their love story and the chaos that happened in the time that they met and how they fell in love with each other. But it was a forbidden romance, because if one went into the other world, the other season, they could be severe consequences in that. But it was great. It was so easy to read. It's floppy. It's such a floppy book. The writing is so big. The story was so just like Disney. I don't know how else to explain it. It felt like the old Disney, and yeah, I just loved it. It was so cute. It was kind of like a secret romance as well, obviously because it was forbidden. Like, they weren't allowed, but I thought it was great. Like, I needed this. I just needed it in my life. And I'm so glad. And if they make a film, I will be watching the film 100%. So yeah, I gave this a 4 stars as well. Then I went on to another book that was highly anticipated for me, because I absolutely adore this author, and that was Eilidh Hazelwood's Deep End. I didn't love it as much as I loved her other ones, like Love Hypothesis, for example. Oh my days, obsessed with that book. Still obsessed with that book. This one, not so much. I didn't really like The plot, I liked the characters. Well, I liked the guy. I liked the main male character. Not so much the girl. She kind of annoyed me at sometimes. But I ended up giving this book a 3 stars because I would always recommend Eilidh Hazelwood. And some of the themes, like it had very much a friends with benefits type situation, but also like a self-discovery and coming over like insecurities and things. So there was a lot of character development that I do really like in books. And the relationship that we saw between them I also really liked, but it was just, I felt like there could have been more to it. There could have been a little bit more plot to it, and there just wasn't. It kind of just stuck with one theme. And considering how big this is compared to her other ones, I was just like bored. I was getting bored, and yeah, thinking about DNFing it because I just wasn't here for it. But it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible, but it's just not my favourite that Eilidh has written. Does that make sense? Anyway, deep end. I then also read another new release book from this year, and that was Scythe and Sparrow, which is the 3rd book from Butcher and Blackbirds. Loved that book. And then Leather and Lark, which is the 2nd one, and then this is the 3rd one. Not my favourite out of the series. Probably the publishing order that they've come out in, like Butcher and Blackbird, Leather and Lark, then this one. That's probably what I liked most. But still, really enjoyable. I gave it a 4 stars. It's so... I really liked the part where all 3 of the books are going through the same timeline. Like they're happening all at the same time, and it was funny when you saw things happening in each of the books before the actual like book came out. So we knew stuff was going on, we knew something was happening, but we just didn't know what until the book came out. And I really like that. I really do like Theon. I'm really hoping that's how you say his name. Fion? I keep saying Theon, but I think that's wrong. I'm not going to look it up. I don't have the energy for that. But we're also following Rose as well. And she was quirky. I really liked her. She was fun. And it's just, this whole series is just a fun series. It's a fun, comedic, dark romance. Loved it. Gave it another 4 stars. The whole series I would probably give a 4 stars. Then we moved on to a book I wasn't actually expecting to like at all, and that is Bride of the Shadow King. Why has nobody told me about this book? Why has nobody said anything? I love this. I read this so fast. I think I read this in like 3-4 hours. It was great. I gave it another like 4.5. Obsessed. Absolutely obsessed with it. This is like one I needed in a easy romantasy type book that doesn't drag but also has so many plot twists, and like there were parts that I hated, but that just meant because I cared so much. Like I was like, why are we doing this? This kind of messes up everything. But I love that because it shows that I'm invested in it and I want the best. So I gave this 4 stars and definitely will continue the series. I'm currently in the middle of reading the 2nd one, and I know there's a 3rd one. I don't know if there's 3 altogether or if there's more. Should I have a look? There's 3 altogether. Oh my god, I love it! I'm so excited. But yeah, did not expect to like this book as much as I did. I'm very, very surprised. Anyway, another 4 stars. So we're working on really, really well. The next books I read were on my Kindle books. We have another new release, which again was one of my most anticipated reads, and that was Elsie Silver's Wild Side. I loved this book. I loved everything to do with this book. I loved the parent trope. I loved the wrestling. I loved the enemies to lovers bit. I loved the marriage of convenience bit. This book was a 5 stars. 5 stars. It was perfect. It was exactly what I needed. I love a cowboy romance. I love Elsie Silver. I love her writing. It's so easy to read, and I think it was even better that I was reading it on Kindle as well because I flew through the book. I was obsessed with it. I loved the child that was in it and just the journey that each of the characters went on, and just like understanding, what are their names? Tabitha and Reese. I love Reese. I love him. Ugh, it was so good. I love a small town trope as well. And Milo, that was a little boy. Milo. Ugh, it was so good. I loved it. Like Reese he's at the top now with them all. I loved him. I loved everything to do. He was great. Anyway, that was another 5 stars. And then The last book that we read in March was Silent Lies, which is the eighth book in the Perfectly Imperfect series, and this series is just a guilty pleasure. It's a mafia romance. It's so easy to read. The plot is so basic but so just extra that I love it, and I gave it a 4. I do really like the Perfectly Imperfect series. Each one of the books is following a different character within the same world. This one I think was the New York mafia and the Italian mafia, and it was arranged marriage. It was, what else? It was age gap. She was a spy. He knew she was a spy. It was a whole thing, and I loved it. It was great. I gave it a 4. I will continue to read the series, and I hope she never stops producing books in this series because it is one of my favourites. But those are all the books that I read in March, all 10 of them. So proud of myself. But now let's go on to all the books that I want to read in April. I'm so excited. Now, do I hope I can read all of these books this month? Yes, definitely. Realistically, no, probably not. But we're gonna try. Anyway, I have got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 books that I'm hoping to read in April. Now, seeing that I read 10 books in March, that seems very likely, but I haven't put any Kindle books on my TBR because I find Kindle is the one place where I want to go and I just want to like rummage through what they've got instead of having a TBR and be restricted to that TBR. So I'm gonna try and test out only doing a TBR for my physical books. And then if I do like a Kindle video, or if I want to read on my Kindle that has more, what's the word? Freedom, except from one. There is one book, one series that I want to start, which is on Kindle because I don't have the physical book, but that's my only exception. So yes, so actually I have 11 because I've forgotten about that one. But it's April, which means there's new releases, and I have 2 new releases that I am definitely going to read this month. Like, there are so many that have come out, but I just don't have time to go through them all. So these are the 2 that I really want to read. One of them is already out, and that is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I need this book. I need to read this book like right the frick now. The way that Reckless finished, I need to know what happens next. And I'm so excited to go back into that world. Like, I think that how that world has been created and Lauren Roberts' writing style is so good. It's so engaging, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So that came out on the 3rd of April, so it's already out. I just need to go and get it. That's literally it. I need to go and get that book right now. The next one that I want to read, which is Katie Robert book, is Sweet Obsession, and this is part of her Dark Olympus series. I have read every single one of the other books and have been waiting for this one to come out. This one is Icarus's and Poseidon's story, and I'm so excited. I am so excited. It comes out actually tomorrow from when I'm filming this, which is the 8th of April, and I need to order it. I just need to order it so I can get it and I can read it instantly. I have been waiting for this book. I've been waiting to read Poseidon's story for what feels like forever, because this series is, the plot goes through each of the books. It's happening within the world, but each of the books is about a different couple. So even though you do have to read them in the publishing order or you're not going to understand the timeline or what's happening within the world, but it's engaging in each one of the stories and doesn't feel like it's slacking because you're reading different perspectives, but you're also following that specific love story as well and then seeing it in the other books. So not only am I excited to read Poseidon and Icarus's love story, but I'm also so excited to see what else happens within the world, because I feel like within the last couple of books in the series, the plot has really kicked off to the point where I'm like addicted to it. I'm so addicted to it, and I love that the language is so easy to understand, and I can probably sit down in one sitting and finish that entire book. So yeah, I'm very bloody excited for it. Anyway, moving on to the physical books that I have got. Obviously starting with the no-brainer that I have already mentioned, which is Hideaway by Penelope Douglas. It is definitely about Kai, isn't it? It is about Kai. I have no idea what it's about. But from the first book, Corrupt, and how Kai was depicted there, I'm really interested to get inside his head in this book and just overall understand like what actually happened to him, because he went through a dramatic change from the jumping of the timelines to who he was 3 years ago to who he is in the present, and we don't know what happened on the in-between, like when he went to prison for that length time. So very excited to continue the series and carry on. It is a dark romance, so it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows, let's just say that. But yes, very excited. I've got some more dark romances on here. Yes, I do. I've also got, which is kind of like a romantasy as well, but I think it's like a dark romantasy, but that's Promises and Pomegranates. If you don't know me, I am obsessed with Greek mythology retellings, especially Hades and Persephone. That's one why I got into the Dark Olympus series, because Neon Gods, the first book, is about Hades and Persephone, and yeah, that dragged me in to the rest of the series, and I'm so thankful for that. But this is Monsters and Muses, book 1, and I'm thinking it kind of has the same sort of idea, that each book is about a different couple. Maybe I might be wrong. I don't really know much about this series. All I know is that this one is a Hades and Persephone inspired retelling story. Oh my god, it's got mafia. They don't use the word Hades and Persephone, but it says at the bottom, from USA Today's best-selling author Sav R. Miller comes a dark and twisted romance inspired by the Hades and Persephone myth. It said she's the sweetest sin he's ever committed. I'm so excited for that. So yeah, I put that on it. I've also got Rena Kent's The Cruel King. I've taken that book from my March TBR because I didn't get the chance to read it this month, because I want to actually work my way through the Rena Kent universe, starting off with The Cruel King and then reading that series and then reading her next series to then bring it together and reread the Legacy of God series. Honestly, if you want to get into Rena Kent or you're reading Rena Kent, go on to her Instagram page and look up her reading order of her universe, because it is so good that I am very excited to read about the parents, because I've already read The Legacy of Gods, which is technically the children. That's the last series that you're supposed to read, but I read it first and it was absolutely fine. I want to go to the very beginning and read about the parents and how they met, and then reread The Legacy of Gods, because that was like a god tier series for me. I absolutely loved it. So I have that on there as well. Then moving on to a bit more fantasy type stuff, I've got Foxglove. Again, this is also another one that I've brought over from my March TBR that I desperately want to read. Desperately. I have wanted to read this book for so long that when I finished the first book, which was Belladonna, I needed to read this one straight away, but never did. I never picked it up. I don't know why I never picked it up and read it, but I'm going to read it this month. I need to read it because I want to know more about the characters that popped in at the end of Belladonna that I was not expecting, and yeah, just to kind of see what else happens, because it has like a murder mystery theme throughout it as well that I've never read before, but I really enjoyed. So Foxglove. The other series as well that I've been meaning to pick up and read, which again is another Kindle one, but I don't have the physical copy, so this is another one I forgot about to mention, but it's Kindle, so this one's an exception. So I have the Cruel King and this one are both my exceptions, but it's the rest of the Zodiac Academy series. I need to finish that series. It is so long that I think I can just binge it and finish it and do it and done, because I need to know what happens. The first one was so addicting and I was so obsessed with it that I was really nervous to go into the next one, which I think is called The Ruthless Fae. I might be wrong. I'll have it on the screen somewhere, but yeah. I really want to get back into that world and just kind of read one after the other, because it is really long, that I think if I stop between each book, I'm then just gonna get bored and not want to come back. So I just think I just need to go one after the other and stay in the world for like the 12 books that they have. I actually don't know how long it is, but it feels like it's 12 books. That might be an exaggeration, but those are all the romantasy, dark fantasy books that I want to read. And then moving on to more just nice romances. I've got some cowboy romances in here, but I've also got some sports romance and a music romance as well. Starting off with Say You Swear. This I feel like has been staring at me for months now. I've had this for so long. It's a sports romance. I think it's about American football, I'm pretty sure. But it's a thick book and that kind of intimidated me to begin with. But it's a college romance as well. It says, for years I've dreamt what college life would bring, and while some things changed, there was always one constant. It didn't matter how wild I allowed my imagination to run, my future was clear and he was it, until suddenly he wasn't. Now there's a new man in my life, one who isn't afraid to go after what he wants, and what he wants is me. One of my best friends absolutely adores this book, so I've put it on for her. So if you're watching this, Han, this is for you, okay? Cool. Right, moving on. I literally just put this book on my TBR just now after talking about how much I loved Wildside, and I don't want to leave the Elsie Silver world, so I put Off the Races on there. Off to the Races, which is her Gold Rush Ranch series. I think this series started before the Chestnut Spring series came out. I might be wrong, I'm not 100% sure, but I had to put it on it. I cannot wait for the next one in the Rose Hill series to come out. So I'm starting one of her other ones where there are a few books out that I can just binge and read and just go through, because I love a cowboy romance. It's so easy and this isn't too long, and it's also got really thick writing and probably on Kindle as well, so I can read it on Kindle. But if it's not on Kindle, I'll just read it physically because I have the book and I need to read my physical books. And I love Elsie Silver, so she's on it and I'm very excited. Another cowboy romance I have that has literally been staring at me, and it's now my friend's book club book. I'm part of 2 book clubs, let me make that clear. I'm part of like a church friends, we read like Christian book, which is where I read I Dare to Call Him Father, that book club. And then I have my besties book club where we read trashy romances, fantasy, and like other genres of things that it's just a bit of fun. So that one, my besties one, we're gonna read Done and Dusted. It's a short little book because the next one we want to read isn't a short little book and will probably make us all cry. So we've decided we want a cheesy cowboy romance before we go on to the big one. And yeah, I've had this just sitting on my TBR for, like, not my TBR, but my shelf for ages, and have never thought to pick it up. It's like under 400, well, about 330 pages long. Again, text so big. I think it's going to be so easy to read. And I love a cowboy romance, so Done and Dusted is on there. And I know a few of the other books in this series have recently come out, so if I love this one I can just then go on to the next one and then the next one and however many more there are and just devour cowboy romances. It says at the back she's off limits, but he's never been good at following the rules. So I'm thinking it's like a bad cowboy situation. Maybe a bit of forbidden love, maybe a bit of yearning. I don't know. I don't really know anything about this book, but it's on the TBR. The next one I have is an ice hockey romance, and I've recently been going to ice hockey games and I love it, so I want to read more ice hockey books and just like fantasize about those books. So I probably put the thickest ice hockey romance I have on my TBR, and that is Pucking Around. Why is an ice hockey book this big? But do you know, the only thing that actually has made me go, okay, I'll read you, is the floppiness. Like, look at that. Look, it's so good. Let me see how many pages this is. My god, there's over 100 chapters. Chapters might not be that long then. This book is 707 pages long. Ice hockey romance. That is how long this ice hockey romance is. So this might take me a while to read, but I'm prepared. I'm prepared, and I'm committed. I've put it on my TBR. I am now committed to reading and finishing this book. It is the first book in the Jacksonville Rays series, so we'll see what happens. We will just see what happens. But then finally, the last book that I have on my April TBR, we should say physical TBR, kind of. But this is another one that I've taken from my March TBR and transferred over because it was actually another one I really did want to read, and that was Not Another Love Story. Again, it's another floppy book. I always pick the floppy books. They're always the best ones to read. But I've never read anything about like rival musicians before, and I was very intrigued. Also, the cover for this book is bloody beautiful. So it's back on. I've put it back on and I will read it. It says at the top, Gwen Jackson is a musical prodigy, but she fought hard for everything she has now. Zayden Throne comes from musical royalty. He's a genius, but it all fell in his lap. I'm already obsessed. I know I'm gonna love this book. I love music and I love books. So having them combined together, chef's kiss. But also, Ali Hazelwood really likes this book, and I kind of just trust Ali Hazelwood now. So amazing. But yeah, these are all the books that I have on my TBR for April. I've got a bit of a colour code that I wasn't expecting, but you know what? I love a colour code, so this is great. But yeah, this is it. Hopefully we can read them all and more. I would love to read more than 10 books this month. I think that would be great. Also, considering my goal for the year is ridiculous and I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I always set unrealistic standards and somehow achieve them anyway. So you never know what's gonna happen. But that is the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know how many books you read in March, or what upcoming books that you are anticipated to read in April. What's on your TBR? Let me know. Are there any books that I should be reading in April that I haven't mentioned? I don't know. I need someone to tell me. So yeah, that's just it. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Mwah, peace, goodbye.